Hello, I wanted to do a quick one, and it's a little different than usual. Um, and no, I do not look my best. I did not think I was going to be recording today, and I was feeling a little icky, and also I haven't shaved in a few days. But that's not what's important. What is important is I went to the movies today for the first time in a minute, which I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. But I saw Good Boy, which was a horror movie filmed centered around a dog as the lead character. And no, it is not like an anthropomorphic, like talking dog. You don't hear his thoughts or anything like that. For all intents and purposes, it's a pretty regular dog, and kind of just like how a dog would interpret a horror movie situation. And like they don't scale up his intelligence by a whole lot to make him have like superhuman reactions or anything like that. And I haven't seen anything like this before, unless you count fucking Air Bud. But it was really good. It was so good that I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to record a quick little moist type video here and just talk about it. So, big thing here before I get into any spoilers is Good Boy is a great movie. It was filmed on a budget of, I think, $750,000 so far. According to the number I saw, they have done $6 million in box office. I want them to do even more. I want a sequel. I want a continuation. I want more from this director. I want more of the main actor, whose name is Indy. That is the name of the dog in real life and in the movie, because it makes things a little easier probably. But it was a really good movie. It was a really simple horror plot. It wasn't like incredibly deep or anything like that. It's supernatural horror, and it didn't do anything insane, right? And I hope that's not too much of a spoiler. It didn't do anything insane in terms of supernatural horror. But what it did do was take a really simplistic horror plot and put it in one of the most unique perspectives that I have ever seen, and I had fun for pretty much the whole movie. So, with that out of the way, go see the movie. Go spend the $11 to $20, depending on what theater you're going to. It's like an hour and 10 minutes or something like that. An hour and 17, I think, might be the runtime. But it was a really good time. It was a good movie. It was a nice. I haven't been in the movie theater in forever. I'm glad that was the movie that got me back into the seat. So, if I haven't already spoiled it too much for you by saying those very limited things, now I'm going to get into the real spoilers. So here's your warning. So the movie starts out centered around a dog named... Sorry, it's like close to 1 a.m. here. I'm very tired. So it's centered around a dog named Indy and Indy's owner. And Indy's owner is having some kind of problem, right? And because of this, Indy's owner, whose name is... the producer wasn't the guy. Okay. Todd. Todd is the name of the owner. Todd is having some kind of problem, and his sister is continuously pestering him, and it's some kind of medical problem, and it seems like Todd feels a little out of control in his life, and he feels a little bit, patronized. So he wants to go out to this remote cabin that's been in his family for a little while and just get away from being a patient. And he goes there, and again, we're watching from the dog's perspective. The dog starts to see weird shit. And it really, like, even though it's a simple horror movie, like, if you have ever owned a dog, the entire time you are, like, clutching the armrests of your seat, gritting your teeth at every little thing that happens, and just feeling so sad or concerned, really, about everything that's happening to this poor, very pretty and talented dog. Big spoiler here, the dog does not die, alright? Dog makes it through to the end, he's fine. But these horror phenomenon start happening, and there was a previous man and dog that lived there, The dog is having dreams. You see dreams from the perspective of Indy, and it's like this monster sometimes it's the dog that was there before him, and you can see Indy, and they don't play it up to be like a human level of understanding. These little flashbacks and what's going on are like scaled down to a dog's level of intelligence. Like the whole time, I was ready to be critical and be like, oh, that's realistic, right? Even though it's a supernatural horror movie following a dog. But like, I really was never taken out of, like, this is a normal dog's perspective, right? This isn't this isn't Lassie, you know, this is not, you know, Air Bud, this isn't Bolt. Like, this is a normal dog just seeing some pretty standard supernatural horror things. The movie starts out kind of slow. I want to say for the first 20-25 minutes, I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is like, you know, new and different. I wasn't really fully like invested in the story, I guess. Like I couldn't really figure out what the story was at first. But there's just this point where it picks up really hard when, and big spoiler here, Indy comes down the stairs after hearing a noise, and the owner's already been acting a little extra weird. The owner is just repeatedly slamming his head into this basement door, and like the dog doesn't like jump up on his leg and pull him away from it. The dog does what dogs kind of do. It whines a little bit. It licks at his hand, and as the viewer, you're like kind of with the dog there. You're like, kind of the best I got. I don't really know what to make of this as a dog. Like this is almost the full capacity of my tool belt here as a dog. And you do still see some personality from this dog in particular. This dog is scared, and there's even a little scene where the dog, like every now and then the dog will touch an object and get like kind of like a supernatural like flashback or a memory of the past or something like that from the other dog or something like that. And at some point the dog gets so scared at one of these flashbacks it pees a little on the ground. It was heartbreaking. I felt so bad. I wanted to walk through the screen and walk the dog home myself. But one thing I will say is that the dog knows something's up. Something is scary about this new place. But when there is a noise in the middle of the night, that dog goes and figures it out. That dog goes to see what's up. That dog gets a little timid sometimes, but at the end of the day, Indy is about business. Indy was going to go get it done. Indy was going to take a second to process and be scared, but Indy would run through the dark room. Indy would go for the scary sound. And at the end, there's a point where Indy tries to save the owner, and it doesn't quite go as planned. And I don't want to spoil too much, because if you're interested in any of this, you need to just go see the movie. Because you need to give them more money, because I need a sequel with Indy and the sister, because it ends with Indy being picked up by the sister, and I will leave what's going on with the owner kind of up in the air. But you should absolutely go see this movie. It is a refreshingly like fun and simple horror movie that I think isn't getting the popularity it deserves right now. I'm on a lot of streaming services, and I kind of pay for the YouTube Premium. What I mean to say is, I don't see a lot of ads in my life, but despite that, when a popular movie is out or something good is happening in the media space, I feel like I still kind of pick it up from some avenue, one or another, or even hear people talking about it. I heard about this movie, actually, yeah, the person whose kind of motif I'm stealing here, I heard about this movie originally from a Moist Critical video. I watched like the first 2 minutes, and he was like, the dog horror movie is good. And I was like, dog horror movie? I'm not going to watch the rest of this because I actually kind of want to see that. And then I forgot about it until today. Me and my partner were talking about, oh, we should go to the movies. What should we see? And we're not caught up on Demon Slayer enough to go and see the movie yet. But I saw Good Boy as one of the things being shown at one of the theaters around us. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that movie. It's October. This movie's a little different. Let's go see Good Boy. And I do not regret it. Yeah, that was a good $11 spent. That was a good hour and 12 minutes of my time. And I feel like if you like horror and you like dogs and you like seeing people take some experimental directions in film, you should go see this movie. I think it's just so cool. I mean, and there are some good jump scares. I'm playing up like the art and the cinematography of the whole thing and the concept or whatever. It still has a few moments that'll get you. And coming from me, this might not mean a lot, because if you've seen me do anything remotely scary on this channel, you know, I'm scared of ambience and like blinking lights. There is a point, it's filmed from like a lot of like, it's not like POV of the dog. It's a lot of like camera angles that stay kind of low to the ground and kind of only give you like what you would see in the dog's general scope of view and peripheral. Like, you know, when we're filming for people, we're over the shoulder, the room is big. It's all kind of shrunk down for the dog. So when there is a scare, it is taking up so much more of the screen, or if it's some kind of entity, it is so much lower to the ground, which creates so much like weird, like janky movement from things. And it's just like, if something is happening, it's already in your face. There was a point in the movie theater, it's a Thursday night. There was a point in the movie theater where it's just me and my partner and like one other couple way up. There's this scare where this thing runs. I'm not gonna say where. I don't want to give it away because it'll get you too. I threw myself back in my seat and did this for like 2 seconds. I was like it got me so good. I've been watching horror movies since October started. I think that is probably the most dramatic jump scare I have had for pretty much all of this, except I did watch Go and Jam Haunted Asylum. No, Go and Jam didn't give me as good a jump scare. It did not. There was one scene. I also will be doing a found footage horror movie video here soon. There's one scene in Go and Jam Haunted Asylum that I have been keeping a lid on here. I've been wanting to talk about it 24/7 with everybody I meet, but, you know, different time. I'm getting off topic. Please go see Good Boy. And also support your local movie theater. It's a good experience. It's a good time. And you know what? When we went, you know the overpriced candy and drinks that they always have? Everything else is so expensive right now. The movie theater is no longer expensive. At least the one I went to. It's not because their stuff is cheaper, it's just they haven't raised their prices and everything else caught up. So that's fun. Go see it. Go have a good time. And see you again with more horror movie stuff before October ends. Hopefully.